to beat summertime in Chicago, and the United Center will be heating up today as the Sky hosts the Fever. Leading the way for Indiana, their backcourt. Caitlin Clark, she played in her 80th career game on Thursday, and no player in W history has more assists through 80 games than Caitlin Clark at 669. And her backcourt teammate, Kelsey Mitchell, she has been nearly unstoppable, averaging a career high of just over 24 points a game this season, which is also on pace to be the highest scoring single season in Fever franchise history. Let's get it started.
The backcourt for Indiana is doing historically great things. Clark, beautiful find. Mitchell finishes.
Clark in transition. Kelsey Mitchell lead Fever.
It's a flow state for both of us.
Caitlin Clark has just had maybe the best 5-game stretch of her career.
Caitlin Clark, 45 and 10, tied for the second most this season.
Caitlin Clark be capable of a 40 and 10 assist game.
Right.
What did Kelsey Mitchell finish with? 37 or so?
Kelsey Mitchell is a bad woman.
Mitchell has to pull and hits.
Kelsey Mitchell's really the one that's killing us right now.
Caitlin Clark, iconic! Are you kidding me?
What a night for Clark and Mitchell.
Welcome to WNBA Countdown, presented by Google Pixel.
Oh, we are letting the good times roll as we welcome you into WNBA Countdown alongside Malika McNutt, Chiney, Ogwumike. I am Malika Andrews. We have the Fever and the Sky. And ladies, when you look at the way that these two teams have been playing lately, the Fever, they're 7-3 over their last 10 games. Chicago is finding ways to win. So as we always do, we begin on the court here, Chiney. What are you looking at in this matchup?
The hottest player right now in the WNBA over the last 6 games is Kelsey Mitchell. She is averaging 30 points in that span, shooting 56% from the floor and 51% from three. You already said this season is a career year. I feel like that's an understatement because It's also a year where she's averaging 24, which would be the most in franchise history. A bucket doesn't even suffice. We are seeing a generational run right now scoring the basketball. This backcourt is talented, but what she's doing cannot be ignored because look at this, 15 straight games with 20 points. In the company of Diana Taurasi, who, for those who don't know, is all-time leading scorer in WNBA history.
Come on now.
And A'ja Wilson, who has 4 MVPs, potentially 5 at the end of this season. Kelsey's in the mix with consistency.
Yeah.
So as much as we talk about how great their backcourt is collectively, you have to give her flowers in real time.
Doing it all while studying for her PhD,
That's crazy.
which that just blows my mind.
An overachiever, for sure. On the other side of the floor, though, and we got to acknowledge we've got two teams that are sort of in different positions in terms of their overall competition in the league. But Chicago's had some good wins lately, and I'm looking at Natasha Cloud because she's sort of the veteran of this group. She's coming off, guys, 4 consecutive games where she scored in double figures. Last time out, flirting with the double-double with 9 assists. But it's not just what she can do on the floor as a scorer and an assist deliverer, if you will. Her energy is so important to this young team trying to find its way and put down some foundational tenets, if you will, as this organization moves forward.
And the last time we saw these two teams play this season, that game did go to overtime. And so just because, again, we see a Chicago team that's still working to maybe find their identity, they're playing some good ball lately. And so we could be in for another really good one. But let's get to some action around the WNBA. Check in on some storylines as we pass the rock, get out and run a little bit. Let's start with the Aces because they're in action today. And happy birthday.
Come on, sing it, Malika.
Happy birthday.
It's A'ja Wilson's 30th birthday, and she already has a Hall of Fame resume. But Chiney, I'm always curious to go back into your storybook.
Why are we doing this?
What's it like to play against her?
I don't want it. The only thing I can do was pair defense. I didn't foul there. That was too easy. All I'm saying right now is send the help. Send the help. You don't need double teams. You need triple teams. You need team schemes to try to slow that woman down.
I love the prayer.
Happy birthday, A'ja.
Happy birthday.
I spoke to A'ja Wilson at All-Star Weekend, and we joked about her needing to maybe clear out a little bit more space in her closet, in her house. She's going to need a whole house for her, right? And when you look at this, it really stands out. This is just since she's been in the WNBA. It doesn't even include her international
Her statue at
honors.
South Carolina?
Exactly.
Honestly.
Monica, what do we say we take a stop in your hometown?
Tell me.
Let's go to DC, because the Mystics, they threw a little block party here. Did you see Shakira Austin, the Mystics? They
Girl.
set a franchise record.
5 blocks, right?
12 blocks as a team in their win over the Dream.
Sexy lady. That's what my
out of the
DMV.
way of that MVP over here. They've won 6 straight. What's making this team so dangerous?
Listen, they are young and they are energized. I ran into JT3, John Thompson III, who is a part of the brain trust of the Mystics. He's like, we're young. Sony is so good. She's got the ability to be an MVP in this league one day, and we're having fun. Like, we are content to let our players cook right now, and if they surprising people, y'all, they could play upset a little bit in the postseason.
Should we continue our singing and say how the standings are going to go move, shake,
Oh, no,
shake,
I
now
was going
drop?
to say, are all systems a go-go? Are they all a go-go?
All the dances. Wait a minute, I was ready to go with
What you're
Malika, but I
not
got you.
seeing
I feel
right
you.
now is the shimmy and shake of Shanae's shoulders. What you are seeing is there's a lot still to shake in the standings, right? Because teams 2 through 8, they're all separated by 3.5 games. And don't look now, Monica.
I know.
The Mystics.
Come on, 6 straight.
They've moved into 6th place. They're a half game behind the Fever. So the Fever, no, they need to get back in the win column after dropping the last 2. They're bread and butter to do that, right? Let's say it together. It is their offense. And when you look at it, Janae was like, where are we going here?
I was like, I'm not going to say anything.
Big three.
It's big threes offense.
There you go.
And
Okay.
it's on pace to be historically great when you look at WNBA history. But that's why it makes it so puzzling, Shanae, when you look at their clutch time offense. Why has that been sputtering a little bit?
Well, I'll say this. The game versus the Aces was an excellent litmus test for the Indiana Fever, because this is a team that has won 3 championships in 4 years. If you want to do it in the postseason, you have to go through those growing pains. But what I see this, it's not like they failed in clutch time. I just think it's learning opportunities for them to make better reads. So as we dive into the tape right here, you're going to see multiple players. Their big 3, sensational, and they typically can get buckets no matter the circumstance. But when it comes to clutch time, you have to make these reads. So Kelsey Mitchell, who has been, like I've said, on a heater, she can score this. The pathway is there, but the Vegas Aces understand the championship level of defense in which they have to close plays. The window shrinks. This is a bunny that she potentially could get back. Instead, she had shooters around her, so maybe you could find other options. This is the play that everyone has seen. Asia Wilson guarding Caitlin Clark. The issue I have is not necessarily the isolation, but it's more so there's no play on the backside. The players are walking. You need to have some type of set motion so that if Caitlin gets stuck like she is here, there's not poor spacing. Instead, you have options like a shooter like Kelsey Mitchell wheeling around. But you saw that it was kind of like, okay, we're going to put it on Caitlin, on herself, and it just didn't create many options if she got stuck. So to me, it's not like the personnel that's incapable of delivering, like we've seen Chelsea Gray deliver time and time in the clutch. It's just understanding one another, even though we are talented as individuals. As a collective, we can have each other's back just in case something is not there or available. And again, these are the concerns that people are seeing. Clutch time, they don't have a winning record. Offensive rating, which has been through the roof, lead the WNBA in offense. They're in the bottom categories. Their field goal percentage, all of those things, even free throws were last. But these are the moments that I think define players, because it's the regular season. You say like, hey, we'd rather go through it now than deal with it later on.
I love that tape, and I think there was a lot of conversation about the final play. And while Michaela Timpson played well in that ball game, you're right. That's probably not the matchup that you wanted in terms of creating space for Caitlin Clark. But for me, it comes back down to the theme that we've had on this team all season long and their ability to defend. They were a stop. And granted, Chelsea Gray hit a hell of a shot. You have to take nothing away from that.
2 shots.
Twice, right? But even if you go back to the shot at the end of regulation, their defense was about to show up because Aaliyah Boston tipped that ball and read the play, right? Now, you give the Aces their credit because they have been to the mountaintop 3 times and have maintained that core. But to me, you balance out some of your struggles offensively in clutch by finding a way to find stops in clutch, and they were right there. So as much as we can look at those stats, I think it's a great thing to isolate. It still comes down to this team being able to defend.
Do you think that game at all was a litmus test? Because we've heard Stephanie White talk about this. They need to get to the middle of the pack defensively. They know who they are, right? And this is a offensive-minded team. This is a team that's going to win on the back of how good they are offensively.
They have to feel good in some ways because they were in control in this game. The Aces were down and they clawed their way back. And I think sometimes you have to go through it to get to it. And this is them going through it.
The only thing I will add to where you were going with defense is shout out to our terrific researcher, Jason Joseph. We looked this up. champions in this league outside of the Aces last year have been top 6 or better in defensive rating, which is actually better than middle of the pack. Now, the Aces, they pulled off a miraculous second half last year and were able to do it being 8th in that defensive rating number. But historically, and I know we're in a different era in terms of offense in this league, historically, you got to be a little bit better than middle of the pack.
And that's why I bring it up, is because talking to Caitlin Clark at the beginning of the year, she points back to that series that they played against the Aces, not at full strength, and said, you know what, I feel like if I was out there, we could have won. And this is a game where now they're looking and saying, okay, we know they're the top of the heap here. How do we stack up? Today, though, they're going to turn their attention to the sky as we turn to a developing story here before we take a break on WNBA Countdown. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert issued a memo to teams on Friday as the conversation surrounding the potential participation of transgender athletes in the WNBA continued. And in the memo, which was reviewed by ESPN, Engelbert wrote that the league will, quote, always approach this topic thoughtfully, respectfully, and in alignment with the long-standing values of our league. The commissioner added that the topic will be examined further by a task force that consists of team presidents and general managers in a meeting that is happening next week. And this comes after Fever guard Sophie Cunningham said in an ESPN article July 21st that she supports barring transgender athletes from participating in women's and girls sports, sparking small groups of critics and supporters to gather outside the recent Fever games. Now, the league has not made any public comments about the subject, but the WNBPA released a statement saying, in part, quote, we embrace justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. Those are the values that unite this union and allow it to protect women's sports while creating transformational change. Hate, abuse, and of any person or group of people, including transgender people, it only fuels fear, division, and harm. We will continue to have hard conversations, but we will not be used as political pawns.